Hi, great to see you again. If you're new to my channel, to help you, you can dip into any video you want and hopefully you'll really benefit from watching each one. If not, you can do it in order if you'd like. And I think we're on chapter 3 at the moment, so I'm just going to get right in there and let's start reading. Right then, the next chapter is mind over matter, which is really important. The way we all look at life, everyday situations and decisions can have a very big effect on us. Mind over matter means that how we look at these things in life will decide how we feel. If we look at things with a negative view, then we will be only sad, angry, nervous and depressed, and all the different negative emotions. And this is what I always go on about, like throughout the book, about the positiveness, thinking positive, trying to get yourself into a different frame mind where you think more positive than negative, and this is where I have that knock-on effect. We don't really want the negative, so instead we need to think only the best in every situation. That way we will feel stronger in all these everyday situations that we come across that, you know, get our emotions going, or we struggle with, or we're feeling really, you know, just we don't feel ourselves, or we don't feel happy. If you are, for example, nervous about going to the doctors, then by the time you're in the surgery, you will be in such a state that whatever happens will seem so much worse than it really is. On the other hand, if you had gone to the doctors in a more positive frame of mind, when you're in there, you would be relaxed, hopefully at ease over the situation presented, because you're living in the moment. Again, that's another biggie. Living in the moment, you're not thinking about anything. Your mind can conjure up like worst case scenarios, or somehow you get yourself so worked up, faffing or worrying or nervous, that this makes it all seem a lot, the situation not as good, when actually it's not as bad as you think. Again, this is where all these different things in the book, hopefully you'll come across something which will help with when you're over worrying, overthinking. You know, there's lots of ideas and things to help you in here. These two different aspects of how you look at something in life can make an enormous difference to how you will feel and deal with everyday things that occur. So again, it's just getting into a completely different frame of mind. Tiny steps, bit by bit, and then before you know it, you'll be feeling better and thinking, why do I feel so much better? Because you've put it into action without even realising. So, because if you think about it, when you look at the older generation, and you see men and women who live in a productive and healthy life in the 80s and 90s, they all seem to have one or more things in common. That is being active and having a positive outlook on life. They're all very strong-minded and have a let's carry on type of attitude. And this is what we all need to do. So there's lots of old-fashioned sayings about, what was it? About, you know, washing it and getting on with it. I can't remember the saying now, I'm sure you do. But basically you just sort of get on with every day in the moment, and that's how you get to be a lot older, because a lot of it is how you think. If you've got a positive attitude, or if you're more laid back, you're not stressed, and stress can have a big effect on the body and your health. So I really believe that stress and thinking negatively and only seeing failure or the worst outcome can have a major effect on the body. If you suffer with your health, please try to blank out any negativity which you're dwelling on. I mean, obviously you can have these horrendous things that can happen to you, and in life you can have these so sad moments and sad things, and people pass on, and, you know, devastating things. But obviously if you've been in that place for a long time, or years, even years and years and years and years, it's not making your life any positive or anything in a good way. It's just making you feel worse and sad, and then it spirals out of control, and then there's addiction, and then everything all snowballs together. We want it to snowball the other way. I've also got a chapter on meditation which could help you relax, and you could try the meditation exercises, which I'd recommend. Meditation is like a really big thing for practicing to blank your mind. And if you put your mind to it, you can do anything, and that's another major thing. So this is a really massive thing, mind over matter. And even if you have to trick your mind by, you know, watching things you love or doing something you love just to get you into that positive frame of mind. And then when you're in that positive frame of mind, maybe you've gone out somewhere and done something you like. After that, that's when you can bring that into your life and try doing the same thing at home, in your everyday living. People you meet, even people maybe you don't get on with, try to think more positive in general about them as well, and about everybody. And without you knowing, you'll feel happier. You'll think, why do I feel a bit happier? And like I said earlier, it's because you're trying to look at life slightly differently, and it will bounce back to you in a positive way. So the next heading I've got is make the best of what you've got. I've heard of this saying before, to make the best of what you've got. This is a good and solid piece of advice, and it makes complete sense. There's so much to be thankful for. I mean, really so much compared to the old days, you know. You have a family, a home, food, care, comfort and love. And if you don't feel that you have a lot of these things, you still have some of them, at least some of them. It's the fact that when you look back at the past, life could be a lot harder in so many ways. Here are but a few. No washing machines, which would be like horrendous, with that cold water as well. No television, no car, there's no duvet covers. You'd have to do 50 layers like my mum does. She has a sheet still to this day. I'm like, you just need a duvet, Mum. And she's like, no, I want my sheet. She has, and you know, you have it all done particular. But you know, you don't have to have like 50 sheets. You can just have a duvet, which is so much easier. No phone. You can't just ring someone when you're out. So if anything happens, and when I was young as well, it was the telephone boxes only, no mobiles. Until I was older. I could carry on and on, depending on when in history we look at. Also, some people in the world don't have even the basic things that we take for granted, and we never think about that in other countries. You know, that they've got hardly, they're just surviving for food, basically. We need to realise how precious life is and look at your work colleagues, friends, family, and appreciate how they are there for you, you know. We're all trying the best we can. Enjoy your life, embrace all of it. You don't want to keep desiring more and wanting more. This won't make you happy in the long run, even though you think it will, because you're always chasing something, but that's not going to make you happy. Because a second of happiness will fade away like it always does, and then you want more, and then you want more, and then it's more, because you're just not getting that buzz of happiness all the time because it fades. You want constant happiness, and to get that, you need to look at life differently. Again, it's all about looking at life differently to have this constant happiness. This is one of those things you need to realise. And if you've so busy trying to get more and more things, you'll miss out on everything around you. So if you do think about that, if that's all you're doing, you're just focusing on getting a new car, getting a new house, getting new stuff, getting the new technology, you're not really looking what's here now. Go outside. Look into the sky, you know, look at your family, really appreciate them, because they're not going to be here one day. Everyone's passing on. We're all passing on, not all together at the same time, but we all are. I mean, everything is. Everything's growing, passing on. New growing, you know, it's a renewal, you know, it's a cycle. This is the way it goes. So, I'm trying to think, well, I've lost my place now. Yeah, you'll miss out on everything around you, basically. So also there's always someone worse off than you, which is so major, like I've just said. So really look at what you have, look at your friends, work colleagues, even look at all the people who you meet every day. Maybe other parents at school, or your local newsagent staff, maybe your postman or woman. Appreciate all and everyone in your life. If your family's poor, still appreciate all you have and do have. You can always improve your situation, just make sure you smile. Which is really hard, I know, sometimes, but not all the time. But if you can smile while you're doing it, try not to moan, or doing that will bring your mood down and everyone around you. As I mentioned before, the way you think and act has a knock-on effect. Please remember that positive thinking and being content will make a big difference to everyone around you, and especially to you. And that's it for now. I'm going to leave it there. Next video will be a few different headings. and different subjects that we're going to talk through. But for now, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to read the back of my book like I always do. Hope you enjoyed that. So, here we are. Be love. If we are but a breeze on the wind, let us float to where we need to be. Open our eyes so we can see. If we are stars shining bright, let us shine the brightest we can so that we are full of light. If we are a note in a musical, let us be clear and sweet to the ear so that everyone is able to hear. And if we are a soul who's on a journey, let us walk with love and be love. And I'm sending love to you and light. Hope you have a lovely few days. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. Bye.